All right. So you write one. So I interviewed a guy a while back, and he was saying that if you're going to start a podcast, especially today, do a daily podcast, because not everybody's doing them. And one, you can become, where people want to listen to you more because you are a daily podcast, and not a long one, but a shorter one, kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot I didn't realize when I started it that it turned out had a lot of benefits. You get a lot of reps in very quick. So if you look at what makes a successful podcast, the obvious quality element, but then there's time, and then there's the number of episodes. And the fastest way to get to a large number of episodes is just to do them frequently. And I've certainly found that to be true. And also, shorter content seems to be consumed a lot easier by people. That if you have something that's 15 minutes long, they can easily do it in a commute or dropping their kids off to school or some digestible amount of time, where if it's a 3-hour interview with someone, that's very hard to do.
Yeah, I can never with Joe Rogan. I can't do that. I try, but it's just too long. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
And that's why I even max this at 30. But I do a daily real estate one, and it's maybe 14, 15 minutes max.
And I think that's all it has to be. I don't think you need to go in depth on a lot of topics. It's kind of, here's the basics, and you can get something from it. And especially if you're doing something that's more news related, my stuff's very evergreen. I'll even do reruns, if I want to take a day off. But those shorter episodes, just give people what they need to know and then move on, can be very effective.
So how do you pick your episodes per day? I mean, I know you say it's from what you went through, but you have to have some type. You don't just daily go, that's what I'm going to talk about today.
Well, sometimes I literally do that. I don't like doing that because sometimes figuring out what I'm going to do is the hardest thing to do. But I keep it. So when I started the show, the first thing I did is I sat down and I wrote out 100 ideas for episodes, and I just did it in a Google Doc, and I've kept that same doc, and I've been editing it for 5 years. And now it's up to about 938 ideas. So when I want to think of something to do, I can take it from the list, but I also just come across ideas all the time. It's like, oh, that'd be a really good idea for a show. And I just do it.
And how are your followers and over a 5-year period now?
The show's had about 45 million downloads. We get about 1.5 million a month.
Wow.
And again, because it's a daily show, there are certain people that just become really fanatical about listening. And we have this thing called the Completionist Club for people that have listened to every episode. And I'm up to episode number, tomorrow's will be 1,760.
Wow. And for people who want to get into podcasting, I assume you're monetizing this.
Oh yeah. It took a while to get to that point, but once it did, it ramped up very quick, and now it's, my livelihood.
And that's good. And is it a good livelihood?
Now it is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I interviewed a guy right after the pandemic, and he was going to trade shows trying to get people to do podcasts. And everybody's like, no, I don't want to do a podcast. That's horrible. And he had this whole idea. And then afterwards, when the pandemic hit, they called him up and says, we want to do this now. And now he does 60 different podcasts a month. That he, not just in individual, I'm talking different podcasts that he oversees and handles and does stuff different for trades and other things.